The first day of the stables was the 6th of March 1987. We opened at 3 o'clock. We had the main people from the University of Limerick came down first, and we had a reception, and after that we opened at 5 o'clock. To no surprise, there was a large number of students anxiously waiting for us to open, and it was just a phenomenal first day. The crack, the goodwill from the students ever since that first day has been part of our success, and the crack we've had there with the students. Best night we've ever had in the stables, I would say the university got university status when it was NIHE. Basically everyone on campus came down to the stables that day at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and there was fireworks at 9:30. It was great atmosphere. And since then, the most recent one would have been the Saw Doctors, our 21st birthday party. The atmosphere in the courtyard was fantastic. One of the best nights since the university night. One of the reasons would be that most of the staff of the Stables Club hasn't changed over the years, and we seem to hold on to our staff. We have a good rapport between the staff and the college staff. And I suppose they know people behind the counter. There's friendliness. I suppose we've nearly grown up with them now, myself and Brendan, over the last 21 years. A lot of the people on campus would have been in their jobs and starting out, and they've been with us always too. So I presume that's one of the reasons. I have to say, from my point of view, I have really enjoyed the last 21 years. Between the staff and the students, there's always a good atmosphere there, be it for morning coffees, the afternoon. It makes the work easy for us in the stables because we enjoy it, and we always have a good old banter with the customers, so that's part of what we're about.
We started in 1976. I was approached by Eamon O'Connor, and I went down and we started this process, which has continued ever since. At the conclusion of the game, of course, we needed to replace the various liquids, and we used to go to the Parkway. A bunch of us, and then subsequently when the stables opened, obviously this was the obvious place to go, and we have been a constant presence there on Friday nights, rain, hail or shine. And I always say to Declan, we actually pay the rent during the dark days of November when there's very few students around. Burns has been here for a long time, so has Jerry Higgins, and latterly there's been people like Owen Reeve, Jim Deegan, Fergal O'Brien. I'm sure I'm going to leave somebody out here. People who would have played with us over the years. Dave Weldrick was there for a long time. He got injured, but some of the more notable people, Tony Ward played for a while, Pat Whelan played. There was a guy called John Herrick who played. He was by far the best player I ever saw. He had played League of Ireland, and people came and went and so forth and so on. And we estimate that over the years, probably something like 250 people have played, including one female. Be Vincent Canaan, who's leaving us shortly. Freddie Royale, of course. The evening would be, they visited the stables, and ever present there, of course, been Brendan and Declan. And there's been some notable bar persons over the years, such as Nav. We have the two Pauls now. Etc., and the lovely Dasha, of course. We can't let that one slip by.
Well, I suppose I'm here since the start. 87, I started working in college in 85, so I was delighted to see a bar coming on campus in 87, and I think it's just grown from strength to strength ever since. Oh, in the early days, probably too many. Our routine at that stage, it probably wasn't as pressurised as it is today. We often went to lunch on a Friday at 1 o'clock, and I'm sure Declan and Brendan threw us out at closing time because it was a long lunch. But a lot was covered, and a lot of new ideas grew in the stables in those early days. You know, things like the disabled sports would probably be one of the main memories that I'd have because of the sports connection. But the nights we used to have on the Disabled Sports Weekend were incredible. I suppose, you see, being a man of habit, morning coffee, I'd say 4 to 5 days a week, you will find me and my friends sitting in the stables at 11 o'clock. If we can get our big table, unless somebody is there ahead of us. But what's happened over the years is people have arrived at their various coffee times, and they've their own little tables and their own chats. And again, we've solved so many problems with the world, so many problems of the University of Limerick at coffee time. It's incredible. You know, it's incredible that we did any other work other than the work that we did in the stables. Okay. Oh, I think the stables is both unique and essential to a living campus that we have here. It's a hub, it's a centrepiece. It's like a central business district of a city. It's a social centre for the University of Limerick. And I mean, if you go the length and breadth of the country, even outside of it, and you say the word the stables, everyone knows that that's the unique social centre of the University of Limerick. And it's just fantastic. It's a brand in itself, and long may it continue.
The stables I ever had was the time Ireland played Italy in the World Cup, and Ray Houghton scored a goal, and the stables just went wild on the night, and the drink was just pouring all night long. It was one of the best nights I ever had and worked in the stables. It was our 21st birthday. I've never seen a crowd go so wild in the courtyard, to have such a great night, and the feedback was superb on it.
That we'd have an event in the stables, and pitch and putt used to be very much a part of our off-campus days. And of course there wasn't a pitch and putt facility in the stables. But not to be outdone at all, we came up with the idea of playing, of putting rather, within the stables, right up the full length of the stables. It took off like a house on fire. It was an absolutely smashing afternoon's putting, and we had a fabulous time. You did in those days, because the stables then was the centre of social life on the campus. Remained so for staff down through the years, happy occasions, less happy occasions, and it's smashing to be here. Somebody who remembers that time, who was there at the opening, 21 years on, absolutely smashing to be here to mark the occasion.